Hey guys, welcome. My name is Scott Carroll. I'm here with my friend Derek. Say hi, Derek.
Hello.
You guys might have known us before. We are what is known to us as Sad Entertainment. Sad being for Scott and Derek. We've been going around the convention circuit for the past, what's it now, 3 years?
Yeah, it's about 3 years.
Yeah, and we've been playing a lot of comedy shows around conventions, and every time we do, people always come up to us afterwards and say, "Hey, who are you guys? Haven't seen you before. Want to know a little bit more about you." So that's what we're doing right now. We started making this sadcast, as we're going to call it now, because I just decided. Uh,
I'm already crying.
it's true. I look at you and I cry, so it's fine. And basically, once a week or so, we're going to sit down and talk with you guys and let you know a little bit more about us. We'll get to know a little bit more about you, and hopefully, we'll all just have a good time. So before we start, why don't we just get to know each other right now? So, Derek, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've actually been to many conventions, mostly up in Washington State. For I think I'm going into my 15th or 16th year of doing any sort of convention. I've actually hosted conventions, including my beginning voice actor panel, which is where Scott and I actually met. And afterwards, we actually came up with the idea for our group as well as the Wheatley panel. But I'm a business major in school. I have already a bachelor's in game design, and I've always been into voice acting. I've been mimicking voices for many years, and I've also started to do singing as a part of a way of learning how to change my own voice. So it's a thing that it's been many years, and I've always wanted to teach other people how to do the same thing because it's one of my passions. So I met up with Scott, and he actually liked the idea of the voice acting panel. So Scott, tell us a little bit of how you came into like acting and everything.
Well, I've been acting since I was like 5 or 6. I would play pretend and take it way too far. And I can actually remember one day my mom saying they weren't sure if I had lied about something, and my mom had said, "Oh, you got to be careful. Scott's our little actor," and I kind of took that to heart. So I went to school for it. I'm actually a classically trained stage and theater actor. I've got 15 years of stage experience. I had a huge focus in improv and the classics, which is why I've been able to improvise Shakespeare from time to time when I've had to. Um, I went to school up in New Jersey for media and film, minored in theater, and I've just been doing this for as long as I can remember. And every time I get the chance, if someone shows a passion about it and they want to learn about acting or improv or they just want to have some fun, I always want to teach people and just have fun with them. I can't tell you how many conventions that I've been to where someone is hosting an acting panel or an improv panel, and it's just somebody talking about all the great things they've done and not actually doing anything with the people. So, a lot of the shows that we do, the point of it is to involve everyone and get everyone up and teach them and have a good time. And that's really why I started getting into doing the shows with Derek at the conventions because
Why we
we
get
want
along so well.
well, I wouldn't say that, but
Ouch. Ouch.
um, it's just something we like to do. And sort of the point of the podcast that we're doing here is to talk about the shows that we're doing, the shows we have coming up, why we're doing the shows we're doing, and give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes stuff into the reasons and the decisions we do when we're doing the shows.
And some of the some examples of this is like the beginning voice actor panel. Is I teach a lot of people what kind of voices you can make with just your own voice. Like I can do like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, like Gollum, Gollum. But with the same voice, I can do Elmo, like the tickers, and then you can turn it into Gollum. And that's the kind of thing, like trying to train yourself to like understand that yes, you can do one voice, but what other voices can you do with that same voice?
And when should you do some of those voices? Should you walk up behind someone really old and go, "Oh, that really tickles," in the middle of the street and scare them? They run out into traffic, and you got to run out and say, "I don't know what happened, officer," because you're some crazy old guy.
But no, then what you do is, I'll get you, Gadget, next time.
I really hope that came through on the mic. And I mean, like on the other side of that coin, what Derek is talking about is a lot of people love voice acting, and one of the focuses of that is once you've found your voice, you'd also be able to do the acting part of it. And I found a lot of people at conventions have a passion for it. They really like to do it. So that's why I started to do our Acting 101 show, where I take everything that I've learned, my 15 years of stage, my 5 years of film and TV, and do what I can to just teach everyone what I know, develop as an actor the different skills that you can do. And those are our more educational shows, I guess you'd say. Then we have our comedy.
Well, even in that, adding both voice acting and the acting panel brings us to our improv panel, coming up with things on the spot.
We do, and people love when we do a Whose Line Is It Anyway style improv show. And there are a couple of conventions that have given us a 2 hour slot to do this. We're actually a sort of prime Friday or Saturday night attraction on this. And one thing we noticed going to different conventions was that there would be an improv group that comes in, and it's a group of, 12 to 15 people, and they might take suggestions from the audience, but they're the ones playing all the games. And as an actor, as an old improv guy, that's cheating. Because when you do that, you already know half the jokes you're going to say. And if you know the kind of crowd you're playing to, the other guy knows the other half the jokes that he's going to say. So a lot of the stuff's not really off the cuff as it should be. Which is why when we do our improv show, we get people to come up and do it with us. And when you guys come up, we have gotten some incredible, hysterical things from you guys that we couldn't plan, that we couldn't write if we wanted to.
And that actually pushes us to become better at improv because we cannot guess what will happen next. We just have to roll with the punches, if you, in the saying. It's one of those things that it makes us actually think of even funnier things to say, and it makes our panels different year by year. You can't go to one convention and see our panels and be going to the next convention and it's going to be the same exact jokes.
It's not going to be that.
Yes.
Yes. There was a bit of confusion, probably on my end. Could also be my crappy microphone that I do need to get. Hey fans, if you want to send me a microphone, put all your money into an envelope and mail it to 123 Fake Street.
Or put it under the bench and we'll find it later.
No, you put what you do is you put the documents under the bench and wait for the man to come by and say the hawk flies at dawn.
And it's actually noon.
Well, that's just terrible spy talk. That's awful.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's what you have to confuse, because maybe what you think is not what they're thinking, and dawn is actually a reversed acronym for whatever you think it's going to be.
No, Dawn is the name of my second girlfriend who dumped me for Chester Arthurfield. Stupidest name. Stupidest name.
Or Dawn is the name of my cousin, but it's not spelled D-A-W-N, it's D-O-N. How do you know?
Getting back on topic. um, the shows that we do are for you guys, and without you guys, the people who come out to the shows and come out to do everything, they just wouldn't be as fun. And
Scott, we've forgotten our best show, in my opinion.
In your opinion?
In my opinion.
In a lot of people's, a lot of people.
A lot of people's opinions. I have an opinion. Are you saying I don't have an opinion? I have an opinion.
Well, I can be like most newscasters and say, you have an opinion, but it's wrong.
Oh. But anyways, to kind of circumvent the whole idea that I'm wrong, we have a panel called the Wheatley Interprets It All, a Portal 2 experience, known by many names because we've given the name to people and they put it in as like Portal 2 panel or...
Every single convention, every convention we go to gives it a different title.
Yes.
Even though we spell them out every time we submit, this is exactly what it is. It's a different panel every time.
We're turning into Prince, the panel formerly known as the formerly known as. But in this case, this panel actually was one of the ideas I came up with when we met. Like after the first panel I did at MechaCon with the beginning voice acting, Scott came up to me and we started talking, and I came up after about 30 minutes. We came up with this idea. It was like, what would it be like if we had Wheatley from Portal 2 interpreting ideas from the audience, ideas that we didn't come up with ourselves. Someone just asking us a question, we have to interpret it as Wheatley would.
If
And
if there's anyone listening out there in podcast land or sadcast land, as I've called it now, who doesn't know who Wheatley is from Portal 2, Wheatley is a robot that was built by idiots and designed to be the stupidest person he could be. Just designed to make every wrong decision, and he
well,
did.
well,
And
Scott,
it's
how would this actually be interpreted then? What idea could we come up with now? Let's see. I'll
why
come up with an idea.
are you coaxing someone into a queue?
I'm cueing you to coax yourself into a queue.
Hey, I can't coax myself. There are ladies present.
Okay.
Awkward silence. I'll
Awkward
take
silence. Good. Good to know. But let's go ahead and I'm going to come up with some random idea right off the top of my head.
Well, for anyone else who doesn't know, before we do this, Wheatley's voiced by Stephen Merchant, British comedian, very very funny guy, and I'm just waiting until he sends us a cease and desist letter.
Yes. I'm going to go with Kitty Grade.
With what?
Kitty Grade. It's a great anime, actually. It involves two galactic police girls, but if, for example, we don't know the anime, which has actually happened during our panels, we will just go with
On
it.
my end, that has happened. That's happened on my end more times than I can count. I haven't had time to keep up with so many shows because I've actually been, working on TV shows and following my dreams and pursuing what I want to do with my life.
Is this your life?
No. No. No.
One of us. One of us.
Okay. I think I've told you this, but out there in Sadcast land, who can tell me what movie that's from without looking it up and cheating on the internet? And I'll know if you cheat. I have powers.
I don't know.
I know you don't know, Derek. I know, because I'm a film major. It's actually from, I'll give you a hint. The movie was banned for more than 10 years after it was initially made. It was a lot of theaters wouldn't play it, and it was banned because they felt it was exploitive and demeaning to all the people involved.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
I'll let you think on that.
it's a good thing that we're having a sad trivia cast.
Oh, we could do a trivia cast if you guys want. I will fill this thing up with as many pointless questions that you will shout back at the man who can't hear you because this is actually a recording.
Yes. But anyways, back as we digressed into this long trivia cast segment of the sad cast that wasn't actually written in the outline, that happened to not be existing because we improv everything. Kitty Grade. Kitty Grade is what I want you to interpret as Wheatley.
Really, what you're saying is kitty grave, a grave for kittens. And I don't like that. Kittens are cute, they're fluffy, they're adorable, and they taste like brie.
I thought he said grade, not grave. They're not dead.
Well, the problem is, only one of us is using a headset microphone, and the other one is stuck using a cheap, crappy little iPad that he only got because it was free, and he won it from work, from a contest, because really he doesn't like Apple products and he wouldn't buy it, and I probably just alienated half of the audience.
But you're a robot. You're an android.
Actually, there is a clear, distinct difference between a robot and an android.
But I don't know them.
Don't make me pull out more useless trivia, dude. I was just watching a marathon of Next Generation, and growing up, Data was my favorite character, and I know everything there is to know about Data.
Yeah, Star
So-
Trek is real.
Hey, it is. It is real in my heart. In my heart, it is the most real thing.
That is
Um,
exactly what you're going to expect at our panel. Just random remarks like that coming out like, I said grade. He took it as grave. Then I came back with something that was realistic. And then he said, no,
wait,
you're wrong.
realistic? Realistic. Okay. And anyway, now that we've given just a bit of a sample of, we finished our commercial for ourselves, more or less.
Yeah.
Um, there'll be other commercials. Don't worry.
Welcome to the trailer for Sadcast.
And it's funny because one of us lives in a trailer. No, we don't. We don't. We don't. I really wouldn't want to.
Mine's a two-story trailer.
That's attached to other trailers. That's called a condo.
Actually, it's a townhouse.
Tomato, potato. Um, speaking of things that aren't real but should be, like a tomato, potato. Um, I had this actually great idea the other day for I called it Pen Pals 2.0, where instead of writing some random person a letter, you get a random person and you have to send them the weirdest small gift possible.
I'm gonna go with my toenail.
Okay, you can't play.
Damn.
Yeah. No, I mean, isn't that that's actually a really great idea.
Yeah,
Occasionally I have them. Um, I think that's
because you
something
have that brain thing.
I have people who come to our shows will know that I have many brain things. Um, but no, I think that's something we should try to actually get up off the ground, a kind of Pen Pals 2.0 thing.
It could be a challenge.
Oh, we have other challenges.
What kind of challenges do we have?
Yes, Johnny, show him what he's
Oh,
won.
through door number one, what challenge is available?
One of the things we want to do with this sadcast here is we want you guys to be involved just as much as we're doing it. So we plan in the future to once you get more guys pick up on this, we'll have guests come on and talk with us, and we'll do all that. But right now, we want feedback from you guys. We want to hear a few different things. You know, what you guys want to hear us talk about. If you have questions for us, absolutely ask us all the time. But one thing we really want to do is a challenge. And our idea is that each week we will pick one of the comments underneath the podcast. Probably we'll pick one of the comments from either YouTube or Facebook, and we will ask for you guys to give us a voice you want to hear us try to do. A voice or a character or an accent, a characterization, anything you want to challenge us to give us to try to do. And we'll pick one and we will have a week or however long we decide to put these podcasts, from podcast to podcast, we'll have that much time to master that voice.
Yar, I have a southern accent.
No, 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 no. If we master it, you have to admit that we are internet better than you, and if we don't master it, we will admit that you are internet better than us, and maybe possibly give you some sort of prize from our random prize bag. Speaking of, we have a random prize bag.
We do. Every time we go to a convention, we have a random prize bag. I remember one year I gave out a GTX 650 Ti video card that had been lying around in my drawer.
That's because you're part crazy.
But I upgrade things too much.
Well, yeah, that too. Well, we've given out what, T-shirts, Christmas ornaments, a flight sim controller, signed DVDs,
Novelty poop.
VHSs, novelty poop. I had so much novelty poop.
It
I
was
gave out
it was a lot of novelty poop.
I gave out way too much novelty poop that year.
You also
I
had the rotary headset.
Yeah, yeah. We gave out we've given out a ton of different things. And what we also do is we do take random prize donations. So if you come to one of our shows or if you see us around, you're like, hey, I have this really weird thing that I don't need. It's taking up room in my house. Here, random stranger, take it and give it to some other random stranger as a prize.
You will be noted in our SADcast as well as idolized at our panel as one of these people who have donated special said prize of randomness to the random
Yes.
gift bag.
Yes, we will definitely do that. Also, we'll probably put up on the Facebook page. We've mentioned that a bit. We should probably mention that. Hey guys, if you're listening to this from a link that's not from Facebook, we have a Facebook fan page. It's actually probably the best way you can get in contact with us or follow us. We have a Facebook and a Twitter. We'll be putting the links in the description below the video right here where I'm pointing and you can't see. All that's going to be down there below. You guys should definitely follow us because we'll probably do little random fan drawings from people who comment and follow. We have a lot of different prizes, and one of the big things we like to give away is the art that you're looking at right now.
It also has our Facebook page on it.
It does. We won't give you the Facebook page. We need that, but
No,
we'll have different
we're supposed
kinds
to
of art
share. We're
art to give
supposed
away.
to share.
No, no.
Share, Scott, share.
Kermit says no.
Kermit
Uh,
the Frog here, and this is a mystery share.
in fact, if you guys are looking at this that picture, that very very nicely drawn picture, and wondering just which voice is which, uh, my nice, soothing, mellow, almost baritone voice that jumps up into the tenor range is coming from the guy in the vest at the bottom yelling into the phone, and the wiry, tinny, not very attractive sounding voice is coming from the lovely Derek, who's on top.
And
That
by not
sounded
very attractive, I'm
that
the one
sounded
that's
pretty good.
actually the calm one, not speaking, and he's the one yelling.
I'm not yelling.
3 exclamation points, I believe, denotes yelling.
3 exclamation points in the ancient American culture indicates "shut up and give me your money."
But I have no money.
Yeah, I know. Uh,
Anyways.
a lot of these bad jokes are going to get taken out, so don't worry.
No. No, they'll
We
stay
have
in.
no we're going to edit. We have a wonderful editing suite made up of Windows Movie Maker and a cup of coffee.
But he doesn't know it. They're gonna stay in.
Hey, fans! If any of those bad jokes that you heard stayed in, just leave me a comment in the video below, and I'll make sure that Derek suffers for it.
And by suffer, he's gonna give me candy.
Sure, we can call it candy. It might have a medical prescription number on it.
Wait,
Anyway,
I didn't know there was a candy named Zoloft.
no, you'd be lucky if I gave you Zoloft. What you should do is you cut all of that out except for the phrase, "You'd be lucky if I gave you Zoloft," and just let the people be really confused as to what just happened.
Yeah. And then sorry, not podcast,
You already
sadcast.
had too much Zoloft, didn't you?
Yeah. Hey, what is going on here? Wow. My hand's kind of big. I'm very calm these days. I'll start sounding like Tyson. You don't know what's going on here.
Oh yeah, that was Daffy Duck, not Tyson.
He doesn't know what this is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just let's piss off Tyson in our first sad cast. So that's a great way to start the game. Um,
You'll only bite off your ear.
you're taller. He'll get to you first.
You're easier to catch.
No, I'm squirrely. Um,
You're nuts. That's how squirrely you are.
oh wow. Oh, what's that sound I heard? What was that random ding off in the distance? Yes,
You
that was the obvious joke alarm. Today's
hear that
prize
check
goes to
mark?
Derek. The obvious joke. um, we've prattled on enough. Every time we end the podcast, we're going to be ending with some fan questions from you guys out there. We've actually gotten a couple questions in from some people. The first one we got is from our friend Jason on Facebook. Jason is a great guy. We've seen him at a number of conventions. Every time we see him, he's always dressed from Toy Story 2, the Al from Al's Toy Barn. Uh, Jason follows the first rule of acting, which is know your type. And man, he fits that costume. He nails it. And his question is actually, besides myself, what is the best cosplay you've ever seen? Derek, what is yours?
I saw someone dressed as Alex Straza, human form from World of Warcraft, and it was exactly as I pictured it in game and very revealing.
That's disquieting. Um,
Yes.
where was that?
That That was at actually BlizzCon,
Wow. Well, that
California.
yeah, that makes sense for it to be there.
Hmm.
Um,
How about you, Scott?
for me, I'm actually going to go at MechaCon in New Orleans a couple years ago. There was Adult Steven from Steven Universe. Uh, this guy again, he followed the Know Your Type. This dude nailed it. He nailed it. He saw his buy type and said, "Oh, that's me," and all he had to buy was the cheeseburger backpack.
Hmm.
Um, that's not to denote anyone who hasn't put a ton of work into costumes. I've done theater and film, and I know how much work goes into costuming. And some of you guys put a ton of work and a ton of effort, and you make these beautiful pieces. Um, I'm friends with a couple of cosplayers. I know one up in the Northeast. She's just all her time and effort goes into doing them. I've actually made my own costume. You guys might have seen me going around some conventions. Every convention we go to, I take one day and I dress up as Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls. Because again, know your type, and it's just fun. It's a ton of fun to do that. Um, Jason, you will win a prize next time I see you because I know I'm going to be seeing you at a convention soon. I'll give you something else. Um, Next question we have was from uh, one of my uh, one of my friends outside of the internet. Which it's true, you can have friends outside of the internet now. It's
No,
I know.
the internet is real life.
Uh, it is. All of my real friends are on Facebook.
See,
Oh
conventions are
no!
real life. Everything else is just a dream.
I heard the obvious joke alarm go off when I made the Facebook joke. You better edit some dings in there.
No, this is gonna
Um,
be raw. Raw and wriggling.
oh God, please edit that one out too. The next question we have is what voice do you hate doing?
Well, you start with this one, Scott.
All right. Um, as fun as it is, I can't stand doing the Dr. Claw voice because it tears up my throat. Uh, I can't reach that certain gravelly voice, and for me, I just can't get that. Um, I have a lot of fun doing a lot of. I love doing creepier voices. I know that wasn't your question, but I don't care. I'm changing it. I love doing creepier voices. Those are fun. But yeah, the Doctor Claw one is for me the one I physically hate doing the most.
To answer that question, there is no voice that I can do that I hate. I love doing all of them.
That's a lie.
Other people do not like me doing some of those voices,
That is a
but I
lie. It's a
love doing
dirty
all the
lie.
voices.
Oh, it's a dirty lie. I'm calling you a liar on that one.
I want you to try to prove me wrong,
Fans,
sir.
if you think Derek is lying, leave a comment.
And then pick a voice that you think that I would hate doing. Because I would love trying to do it. I would love it.
So you're a masochist. All right. Uh,
Well, and the third question, actually, we do have is where should the next Assassin's Creed game take place? I'm
oh,
going to start with this one.
that's
I think this would be great. I'm going to go with Scott's house.
okay. No one knows where I live, so I could be anywhere right now. Um, that's actually a really, really good question. Assassin's Creed really they've been messing up a lot lately. Outside of Black Flag, I mean, it's really been like they've just been putting out the same game every year. I think they really screwed up. They could have done the American Revolution one so much better. I blame just a flat protagonist on that one. But for a set piece, uh, I would love to see. Um, I would love to see something with the Vikings. To be honest, I think they could do some really because the Vikings were everywhere. They had a huge swath of land, a huge domain that they were taking part in, and you could have fast travel things to everywhere. And there's a lot of great old places you could go to. I think that would be really cool to have something with the Vikings.
That actually would be cool.
I know, right? Hey,
Yep.
actual informative conversation while we're talking.
Yeah.
On that
Well,
topic, um, there's still a lot of people who don't believe the Vikings made it to North America before Columbus did.
Well,
Yeah, I
in
know.
in any sense of it, it would all come down to the imagination of the producer and director to be able to come up with a way of bringing out a Assassin's Creed kind of feel in that era and that kind of style. You know, with the longboats and everything, almost like Skyrim meets Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, a lot of the problems of the recent games have been, for me, they all feel the same. I mean, every time I play them, it's like I'm just playing the same game. And then I watch, a show on TV that's set in France or Italy or Colonial America, and I go, oh yeah, I climbed that. Yeah, I was over there. I played this level before. And I think it's Black Flag was great because they took a different sort of um, take on it. I think that's sort of what they need to be doing with the Assassin's Creed games to make them um, better, I guess, because they're starting to pump them out now. Look, I mean, look at all the glitches that came out in the last one.
Yeah, and well, we can't be that biased, you know, on the thing. I think the greatest Assassin's Creed would see how he does in the Portal 2 universe, trying to get through those mazes.
Oh, you are tying everything back.
That's what I do. Why not?
Various reasons. Um, that's all the questions we had from you fan guys. But
Or
uh,
girls.
guys, that's true. I've been calling all you guys guys. I hope there's at least one girl out there. At least one girl for me.
It could be. Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's no one,
Hope.
no one loves me or will ever love me ever now or in the future or the past.
Are you so lonely? Oh, so lonely? Need somebody? Call your own?
I'm just gonna stay silent and see how long you can. Actually, no, that'd be a bad idea. Very, very bad idea. Um, well, I think we've taken up just about enough of everyone's time here. Before we end, thank you guys for listening in. We know
Yes, thank you.
this was our first podcast. It's probably going to be a little rough and bumpy. We're going to be finding our edge soon, so don't worry on that. We want to hear from you guys. We really do. We want to hear from you guys. What kind of stuff do you want us to talk about? What kind of questions do you have? Don't forget about our challenge. What kind of different voices do you guys want to hear us do? And, any comment, just feel free to leave it. Good or bad, it's all constructive to an actor. So we'll take it, and we definitely hope to hear from you guys soon. And we'll let you know when the next one's coming out. Don't forget to make sure you guys are following us on the Twitter. The Twitter is at SadEntertain. And we're on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Scott and Derek. We update those regularly, and all of our stuff is on there. If you guys have any questions, comments for us, leave them under the video, on the website, on Facebook, on Twitter, anywhere, and we will get back to you if we feel like it.
And to coin a phrase from one of my favorite animes, Hellsing, thank you, Zadcast. We love you. Good night.